Hello and welcome to another episode of Get to Know UIC, Get to Know United in Christ. Today I have the pleasure of being joined with Pam and Willard. Pam and Willard, thank you so much for taking the time and joining with us today. It's really good to see you.
And you too.
Well, thank you very much. Thank you. I was just catching up with you guys, and so I thought it would be helpful for other folks to catch up as well. It's been a while since we saw each other, but remind me though, before we get too far into it, how long is it that you have been connected with and attending worship at United in Christ?
Well, I've been attending there off and on since we got married.
Oh, okay.
And that'll be 49 years in November.
Wow, that's an impressive number. That's a knowing chuckle, Willard. You got to be careful how you use those.
We're not through the pandemic yet, though.
That's true. That's true. Well, we're going to keep you going because we're going to keep you as safe as possible in the midst of this. So you, Pam, you started attending United in Christ when you got married. Willard, had you been member out there beforehand?
Well, yes, I was a member there, and I was baptized there. We went there when my parents were still alive.
Okay.
It took us to church there. Yes.
Oh, very cool. So, and that was St. John's, right? In terms
Yes.
of the predecessor churches. Very cool. Very cool. It's been very funny. This is neat to compare because a lot of these Q&As I've gotten to hear from folks, it's generally the husband who comes as the marital transplant to the congregation. But now in this case, Pam, you were the one who came over from and where had you been before coming over to St. John's at the time, but now United in Christ?
Evangelical Friends in Hughesville, because I'm from the Hughesville area.
Oh, there you go. There you go. Mm-hmm. Very cool. Very, very cool. So obviously, I mean, you've got this rich history now with the congregation. If you're celebrating 49 years of marriage, that means 49 years of being with this community. That's an impressive run. So I gotta ask, for all of these years, for going on 5 decades now, what is it about this community? What is it about this congregation and these folks? What is it that makes you want to come back to this church week after week after week? Because by my math, 50 years by 52 weeks in a year, we're talking like 2,500 Sundays now there in total. So what makes you want to come back and invest in all of those Sundays over the years?
Well, we did have a little hiatus in between there when the churches was having their problems and we had gone elsewhere.
Oh, okay.
So we did have a hiatus in there. We weren't there for a full 49 years.
Okay.
I wasn't anyways.
Sure.
Willard had been there more years than that.
Gotcha.
So, but I think the friendliness and the willing to help in the community and do things for others is one thing that brought us back.
Yeah, absolutely. There's this very much this outward focus of this crew, right? That it's very rarely, if ever, a self-serving congregation, right? They are far more interested in serving others and in greeting others with the love that they find in Christ by being together. But ultimately, they like to spend that energy not on themselves, but on other folks, don't they?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a very
Plus,
cool
Willard has a lot of relatives in the church.
Ah, yes, there is the familial pool after all, right?
Yeah.
it's those family members who will call you up and say, "Hey, where were you?" Right? The ones who that keep you honest in the midst of everything, right? So in all this time though, where is it that you see where is it that you see God at work among this community and among these people at United in Christ? Where do you see glimmers of the Spirit moving and shaking among the folks here?
Probably in what they do, like, the backpacks that they do for the kids in the fall, and they help out at Christmas time with things the Rich Huff Fund does.
Yeah.
And, the Oaks that they have open for the community, and the diaper pantry, all the things that they do.
Yeah, absolutely. It really kind of keeps them motivated, right? It really kind of keeps that energy going, that energy up, right? So I guess for you, what's the most exciting part of all of that to see? If you were to pick one or two things in the life of the congregation, what would be the things that you look forward to the most, or you would find the most energizing and exciting to be a part of?
just coming out the Sunday mornings, and getting there. It's you need that energy, uh, like how should I say it? A refill every week.
Yeah, absolutely, right? Starting with this place where we are nourished, and I like that language, right? Refilled, because then we're called on the rest of the week to give of what we've gotten, but you can't give from an empty cup, right? So to be able to come and gather and recharge in that way, I mean, it's as easy as that, isn't it? Right? Just worship itself. That's very cool. I'm very glad to hear that, Willard. Pam, is it the same for you, or is there something else that you really look forward to over the course of the life of the congregation?
Well, it's kind of the same. Well, and then just getting out and joining with the other ladies and doing, like in the kitchen and that
Oh
kind
yeah,
of stuff, I guess.
there's
Yeah.
there's plenty of ways of connecting
Yeah.
while serving and doing all of the above all at once. I always like when I come in on a Sunday morning, or when I come out of adult forum, and you come into the fellowship hall, and you've got your group sitting at the tables that are all just, I mean, they are fixing the world's problems in those moments, right? And it's a very cool thing to see this organic shaping of community there. It's a real riot. It's real fun to watch each and every week. But over the years, what for the two of you and in your life together, what has this community meant to you? What is it meant for you in your life? Not just there on the hill, but in your day-to-day life as well. What has this community of folks and this congregation meant for you?
Well, I guess it's meant to me that I know that they're there if I need them,
Yeah.
because they're always willing to help when needed.
Ain't that the truth?
Yeah, it's a fellowship together. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. To give that sense of knowing that you're not alone in whatever it is you're going through, right? To know that there are going to be folks there to rally around you and support you and just kind of walk with you no matter what it is that you're walking through at the time. That's a real gift of this crew, and that's something y'all were doing really well before any of us came through. It's a really beautiful thing. So then as you think about the future and you think about this congregation and the ways in which God is calling this community, what are your hopes and your dreams for this congregation as you think about what's next for us?
Well, my hope would be to get some more kids involved
Sure.
or get them interested in going to church, because having grandchildren of my own, it's hard
Sure.
to get these kids to, get them back in church.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's part of it is making church a place they want to be, right?
Yeah.
And I think we're taking some steps there, but I think we've got some work to do in that. But I love the way in which the congregation is willing to invest that energy to make our students a priority, right?
Mm-hmm.
No matter how many of them there are, they're willing to say, "Hey, you lead, right? Lead on," and kind of rally around them in that way. It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah, because they are the future of our church.
Yeah, they absolutely are. And I love it when they show up and they are the present of our church too, right? The ways in which they lead now and can show us and teach us new ways of being church now. I mean, I know I've seen it in your own grandkids as they've come and engaged. It's been a life-giving thing to see that that tug of God's pulling on their heartstrings to get them involved in these ways. And it's been a really beautiful kind of way of rallying and supporting our students. So I'm with you on that. I love that. I think that's a very good hope and dream and priority for us. Willard, I'll give you the chance if you have a different hope or dream. You're allowed to have a different aspiration for the community, for the congregation.
Yeah, I know it. Every day of the week, I know they're there.
Yeah.
The church is there. And if we need any help, we can call on them.
Bingo. Yeah.
What's your hope and dream of the future for it?
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's something that we will continue to be committed to, right? We will just keep showing up for one another. Even in these days when we can't physically be together, we're thinking about how it is that we can show up and support one another, right? So yeah, that's beautiful. That's a beautiful thing. Thank you. Well, I tell you what, I'm giving everybody one last chance before we sign off. Is there anything you want to share with the congregation? Is there anything you want to share with the folks tuning in today? Any Pam and Willard words of wisdom that need to be passed on, or any greetings you want to give to the congregation as we're spending these days physically apart right now?
Just hi to all our church friends. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Preach it, Pam. That's exactly it. Just stay safe and stay healthy. You heard it from Pam, so do as she says. She knows a lot more than I do. So stick to the plan.
Stay in your bubble.
Stay in your bubble. That's right. Very well done. Excellent. Well, thank you. Thank you, Willard. Thank you, Pam, for taking the time today. This was really, really nice. This has been fun. And I hope the two of you stay healthy and safe as well. And to everyone at home, you better stay healthy and safe as well, too. Yeah, right. In the meantime, God's continued peace and blessings in the day ahead. Again, thank you, Pam and Willard, for taking the time today. This has been just a lot of fun. All right.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Bye for now.
Bye. Bye.